Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Miss Cadiz. This is Chloe from Group 4, and today, along with my teammates, we are going to discuss our assigned topic for Philippine literature. Before that, here's our agenda for today. We have reading or pagbasa, text analysis or pagsusuri sa teksto, and summarization or pagbubuod. And before we proceed with our actual discussion, our teammates Shiren, Hans, and Renz are going to read to you the text for Play Clemente.
Senyor, sinasaka ninyo ang lupa namin. Tumahimik kayo.
Bakit? Anong masama sa sinabi ko? Anong trabahong nagagawa niyang uldog na yan at ng kanyang alila sa bukirin? Hindi niya nakita ang bukirin. Marunong lang siyang sumil ng upa at magtaas nito hanggang hindi na tayo makabayad. Sa palagay ko, hindi naman nila pag-aari ang lupang yon. Nabalitaan lang ni Fray Clemente ang kasaganaan ng ating unang ani. Kaya lang, takot tayong umangal noong araw. Baka tayo'y palayasin. Pero ngayon, handa akong lumaban. Ginawa nila ito ngayon para lubusang maangkin nila ang ating lupa.
Tales, tandaan mo ang palayok na putik.
Puno na ako, Tatang. Punong-puno na. Itong palayok na putik ay susugod sa kawaling bakal at mangyari na ang mangyayari. Tutal, alabok din ang ating kahihinatnan.
And now, we'll proceed with text analysis or pagsusuri sa teksto. First dialogue, Play Clemente. Senyor, sinasaka ninyo ang lupa namin. Tumahimik kayo. In this context of el filibusterismo, Play Clemente shows colonial hierarchy in which he claims the land from Cabezang Tales. It is also an indicator of silencing the oppressed and an abuse of power through claiming the land of the farmers. So we have come up with colonial hierarchy in this analysis, as friars during Rizal's time are all Spanish. So they are dominating the country. They are land grabbing the farmers' land that they are tilling. So we'll proceed with the next dialogue. This is from Cabezang Tales. Bakit? Anong masama sa sinabi ko? Anong trabahong nagagawa niyang uldog na yan at ng kanyang alila sa bukirin? Ni hindi niya nakikita ang bukirin, marunong lang siyang sumingil ng upa at magtaas nito hanggang hindi na tayo makabayad. Sa palagay ko, hindi naman nila pag-aari ang lupang yon. Nabalataan lang ni Fray Clemente ang kasaganaan ng ating unang ani. Kaya lang, takot tayong umangal noong araw. Baka tayo palayasin. Pero ngayon, handa na akong lumaban. Ginagawa nila ito ngayon para lubusang maangkin nila ang ating lupa. So, by reading Cabezang Tales dialogue, you will hear how angry he was towards the friars, towards Fray Clemente. So this indicates that Cabezang Tales shows resistance from the friars' unfair ownership of the land and continuous abuse of power. The resistance and anger is also seen through Cabezang Tales' heavy insult towards the friar by calling him an uldog. By the way, in Rizal's time, this word uldog is used to insult someone as it means stupid in an angry perspective of a speaker. Meanwhile, in formal conversation, uldog means a member of a religious order and someone that is an assistant to a friar. So, as for this one, Tales calling friar Fray Clemente and uldog, it shows that the respect has been long gone and friar is lowly and animal-like to Tales' eyes. So, he no longer respects the Fray Clemente, the friars. This also reveals Fray Clemente's exploitation of farmers through unfairly increasing the lease to the point that the farmers are no longer able to pay the land that they are farming. Alright, so now let's proceed with the next slide. This is a conversation between Tandang Selo and Cabezang Tales. So here, Tandang Selo says, Tales, tandaan mo ang palayok na putik. So in this context, palayok na putik symbolizes fragility, vulnerability, and helplessness. So Tandang Selo warns his son, Kabesang Tales, that he is like a clay pot, weak and helpless. Since Fray Clemente is a powerful person, he is a praile, a friar, Tandang Selo warns his son that clashing against the friars will only lead to him being defeated. So, Kabesang Tales responds, "Puno na ako, tatang. Punong-puno na. Itong palayok na putik ay susugod sa kawaling bakal at mangyari ng mangyayari. Tutal, alabok din ang ating kahihinatnan." So in this part, you will feel how determined Kabesang Tales to fight against Fray Clemente's abuse of power. So Kabesang Tales accepts defeat, but he refuses to be silenced. Kawaling bakal symbolizes power, oppressive power of Fray Clemente. Tales shows resistance and anger as he believes that everyone turns to dust, so might as well defy the oppressors despite what outcome he might face: defeat and death. So this is like a revolutionary statement coming from Kabesang Tales. It is such a Filipino thing to do for him. Bravery despite all odds.
In summarization of our topic o pagbubuod, Kabisang Tales' anger towards Fray Clemente and the entire friars reflects the deep resentment of the Filipinos during the Spanish colonization, where abuse of power, oppression, and atrocities were suffered by them. So in El Filibusterismo, Rizal was able to capture the collective injustice experienced by Tales and the farmers. It also mirrors the colonial hierarchy that was clearly set by the friars through force, heavy tributes, injustice tenancy systems, and the continuous threat of eviction towards the farmers, even though the land is not owned by anyone, mostly especially not by the friars nor Fray Clemente. In the conversation between Tandang Selo and Kabisang Tales, or Tales, in which putik na palayok and kawaling bakal. These are metaphorical phrases used to convey a message of helplessness of the farmers. Tales and even the Filipinos during the Spanish occupation, where they were ruled by the indestructible hands of the friars and Spanish colonizer, mirroring the harsh reality and the oppression suffered during that time. While friars had all the powers in their hands, Tales also reflects the resistance of Filipino through his determination to fight against the oppressors. Despite being aware of the life and death situation that he may encounter along the way, he also stood by his principles, mirroring that start of the revolutionary movement against the oppressors. Sa manlulupig di kapasisiil might be the greatest way to describe Tales' willingness to sacrifice himself to fight the injustice led by the friars towards the farmers. This echoes the cries of the Filipinos striving for independence from all of the atrocities during the Spanish colonialism in the Philippines.
Good morning, Ma'am Chloe. My name is Marjan Mascardo, and I would like to share a reflection on what the short narrative of Kabisang Tales teach us Filipinos. Especially in our context of contemporary world here in the Philippines. Let me begin from this short yet powerful story. We see many lessons out of this narrative. First, the value of hard work and fairness. No one deserves to have the fruits of their labor taken by greed. Kabisang Tales works so hard for this land with his bare hands only to claim it by those who never touch it. The second one is that the danger of the abuse of power, in how those in the position or in the authority can easily twist justice and when unchecked. Okay? The fairs who should have served the people instead serve themselves. But let me draw your attention, and I think this is one of the most important lesson that we can learn out of this short narrative, which is silence born of fear breeds anger. Only courage to stand for what is right can save us from ruin. In my own observation, the most important lesson lies in what Kabisang Tales failed to do so, meaning he stayed silent for too long. He endured injustice out of fear, meaning fear of rejection, punishment, or standing alone per se. And in that silence, he lost everything. This story reminds us that when we do not speak, speaking up against wrongdoings, we allow it to grow. You see, when we wait too long, bitterness takes over. And the choices we make in anger, it may lead to even greater distractions. If you allowed me to connect it in our present day here in the Philippines, where corruption, injustice, and dishonesty still exist in many layers of our society. Let me remind you, ladies and gentlemen, silence is not peace, it is surrender. Let me reiterate that one. Silence is not peace, it is surrender. If we remain quiet in the face of wrongdoings, we became part of that cycle that hurts us. So therefore, let us not wait to be consumed by rage like Kabisang Tales. However, let us learn to speak now while our hearts are still guided by truth, not by anger or despairs. Thank you for listening.
Good day, everyone. Today, I will report the mahalagang terminolohiya or the important terminologies and the mga tauhan or the characters connected to Preclemente in El Filibusterismo. The first term, the uldog. In Tagalog, uldog is a slang insult used to degrade a person. It means stupid, animal-like, or an asshole. Cabezang Tales used this word against Fray Clemente to express his anger and disrespect. In a formal sense, however, uldog can also refer to a person under friar's order or an assistant to a friar. The second term, palayok na putik. This literally means clay pot made of mud. It symbolizes fragility, helplessness, and poverty. Just like a clay pot that can easily break, it represents the weak condition of the poor farmers under the abuse of the powerfuls. Then the third term is kawaling bakal. This means iron calderon or iron pot. It symbolizes strength, unyielding power, and dominance. It represents the friars and colonial leaders who are strong, unbreakable, and oppressive. Now, let's move to the characters or mga tauhan. First, Cabezang Tares. He is the son of Tandang Selo and was once a Cabeza de Barangay or the community head. Cabezang Tales worked hard to till the land but Fray Clemente and the friars claim it as their own. Because of this injustice, he later joined the bandits who fought against the church and the friars. Second, Fray Clemente. He is the Spanish friar who exploits the farmer by using his power. He symbolizes corruption and greed, demanding higher rents for the land and abusing the helpless peasants. Third but not the least, Tandang Selo. He is the father of Cabezang Tales and a simple farmer. Because of trauma and grief, especially from what happened to his granddaughter, he eventually loses his ability to speak. He represents the voiceless and powerless peasants.
And that was our presentation for Pray Clemente. Once again, this was Group 4 with Chloe Angela Carpio, Mr. Marjan Mascardo, Miss Shiren Epes, Mr. Hans Pahulas, Mr. Franklin Dumaya, Mr. Renz Torres, and Mr. Giscoro Verdecilio Jr.